Okay, we have one. We have at least one student from each school, then we can start. Dear students, good evening, and we are here today with our goal 6, clean water and sanitation. You have chosen your countries, you are the delegates, you search for the questions, and you know what will we do. We will hear your answers and talk about the situation in your countries. Who wants to start with the first question? What do you think water pollution is caused by and how?
Ismail.
Ismail, yes.
Water pollution is an important danger of this world. This has a lot of reasons and hows. These reasons are industrialization, plastic and polyethylene bags, pesticides and fertilizers, sewage and other oxygen-demanding wastes, domestic sewage, population growth, urbanization, eutrophication, mining, agrochemical wastes, nutrients, enrichment, thermal pollution, spilling and leaking of oil if they are used careless and or they are wasted, nature and water are polluted.
Yes, you are right. And Pınar.
Water pollution is caused by spills and leaks from oil and chemical containers. Leakage from sewer lines and plastic waste being dumped into the ocean are also main causes of pollution.
Pınar, thank you. Pınar was from Bilfen and Hatice Güzelcan, Tuğba.
The industrial wastes of the factories established by the rivers and lakes pollute the waters. For this reason, the balance of the waters is disturbed and the living things are greatly damaged. In short, my opinion is that the main cause of water pollution is people carelessness.
Okay, thank you, Tuğba. And Abdullah, can you say your school's name first?
Yes, Uluslararası Şehit Münir Alkan Anadolu İmam Hatip
Tamam.
Lisesi.
Okay. Yes,
Can I
Abdullah.
start?
Mm-hmm.
I think that water pollution is caused only by people irresponsibility and not caring about their future. The growing of the petrol industry and producing of more ships makes the seas all over the world less useful. Let me give you an example. Like if you go in space that are so much cargo ships, you see that the sea is more dirtier. But also it depends from everything, you know, also like climate changing or something else, you know. It's not only about for one reason. It can have so much reasons, you know. But if every reason is combined with themselves, you see that there is chaos. There is something that is going bad, even worse from the time to time. And I think that, but in the main reason is human himself. Like I said, is caused only by people irresponsibility
Yes.
and not caring about the future. That's all.
Yes, you are right. And Yağmur, Eylül.
Around the world, agriculture is the leading cause of water degradation. In Germany, agricultural pollution is the top source of contamination in rivers and streams, the second biggest source in wetlands, and the third main source in lakes. It also a major contributor to contamination of estuaries and groundwater.
Okay. The reason of the pollution is agriculture in Germany, you say?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. İrem, Rana.
The water pollution causes pollution of all kinds of wastewater bodies thrown into the water. It also have the reasons like the chemicals and the other things that thrown into the water.
The chemicals. Yes. And anyone else for the first question? Others?
Let's move on to the next one
Yes.
because we don't have other volunteers. What are the
Yeah.
sanitary conditions and why should we apply these conditions?
Teacher, can I add something?
Yes, please.
Should we give the answer only by the question, or even we can talk about all the situation, like what, like only for water pollution? Also giving the answer of the questions, but in the same time giving the other points. You know, giving example, different example. Is it any problem? Does it have any problem?
No, no. You can refer
Okay,
to the
thanks.
country
You
you've
can.
chosen. Okay, so who wants to answer this question? Tuba.
Mhm.
Sanitary condition means a condition that does not result in an accumulation of fecal odor, insect infestation, or rodent attractants which could endanger the health of any person or animal. Sanitary conditions should be applied because sanitary conditions are also a basic human need like water. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Ismail?
Sanitary conditions are cleanliness and minimizing of disease transmission. So we have to keeping our environment clean to apply. If we keep our environment clean, we can apply the sanitary conditions.
Kodrin?
Sanitary conditions mean the state of being clean without dirt or other impurities, dirtiness or uncleanness, the state of being unsanitary. Sanitation is important for all, helping to maintain health and increase lifespans. However, it is especially important for children.
Okay, Cheng? Thank you.
Lack of access to drinking water and sanitation is leading to causes of the death in the world and present many challenges. The international community is working hard on this issue to achieve.
Thank you. Are there other volunteers?
Okay. I think, yes, that's
Diana
all.
wants.
Diana,
Diana.
yes.
Water and sanitation conditions have an impact on the health of the environment through downstream pollution in particular. Water is a finite though renewable resource that needs careful management to meet the basic needs of population.
Okay, thank you. Abdullah?
Yes, I think that people need clean water to stay physically healthy and prevent disease caused by a lack of adequate water and sanitation, because sanitation is essential to people's survival and development.
Thank you. Cheng?
Okay, he answered. Okay, he has answered this. And third one.
The third.
Why are clean water and sanitary conditions important?
Maria?
The third question.
Maria?
Access to clean water and sanitation reduces the risk of contracting a variety of ailments. Every year, millions of people die as a consequence of diseases brought on by a lack of clean water, sanitation, and hygiene.
Thank you, Maria. Raul?
Our cherished way of life depends on clean water. Healthy ecosystems provide wildlife habitat and places to fish, paddle, surf, and swim. Our economy depends on clean water. Manufacturing, farming, tourism, recreation, energy production, and other economic sectors need clean water to function and flourish.
You're right. Thank you. Ismail?
Now, if we keep clean our environment and we apply sanitary conditions, we can have clean water. But if we don't, our water sources are polluted. We need clean water to be healthy and a good future.
Thank you. Simona?
Safe water, toilets, and good hygiene keep children alive and healthy. Growing up in a clean and safe environment is every child's right. Access to clean water, basic toilets, and good hygiene practices not only keeps children thriving, but also gives them a healthier start in life.
Good. Tuba?
Because daily needs such as cleaning and meet the need for food and drink. That's why water is very important. In addition, the use of water in agriculture is of great importance in food production and the use of water for energy sources.
Okay, Fidan, thank you.
Having clean sanitation means being able to avoid exposure to countless diseases, and every year millions of people die from disease caused by inadequate water supply. And sanitation and hygiene, dysphonia, diarrhea is the main cause of death in children under age 5, and that's right.
Thank you,
That's all.
Maria. Thank you, Maria.
Contributes to livelihoods, school attendance and dignity, and helps to create resilient communities living in healthy environments.
Okay, thank you. Yagmur?
Drinking unsafe water impairs health through illnesses such as diarrhea, and untreated excreta contaminates groundwaters and surface waters used for drinking water, irrigation, bathing, and household purposes. Evidence suggests that improving service levels towards safely managed drinking water or sanitation, such as regulated piped water or connections to sewers with wastewater treatment, can dramatically improve health by reducing diarrheal disease deaths.
Okay, thank you. Let's see the fourth one. Do you have enough water in your
Maybe,
country? Yes.
Stefania, maybe we can combine these two questions.
Yes. Do you have
4
enough
and
water
5.
in your country? Where does your country meet its clean water needs? Let's see. These two questions. Razvan?
Yes, there is enough water in Italy. Many Italian cities receive their drinking water from groundwater and springs. For example, Rome receives 97% of its drinking water from springs and 3% from wells. Milan receives its drinking water from 433 wells in the vicinity of the city. However, other Italian cities get most of their drinking water from the rivers.
Thank you, Pinar. Thank you, Razvan. Pinar?
In Seoul, the capital, nearly 10 million people get tap water from the Han River. The government also runs 6 water treatment plants near the city. The water quality of Korea has improved throughout the years, but there are still higher than acceptable levels of pollutants in some of the more urbanized regions outside of the capital of Seoul.
Abdullah?
Yes, Czechia has enough water, and in general, water is relatively abundant with the total fresh water resource across Europe. The Czech Republic belongs among the countries with the developed water management. The care of water resource is supported by the fact that almost 54% of drinking water comes from a surface water resource.
Thank you. Yagmur?
The weather in Germany has been particularly dry over the last 3 winters, and as a result, the water level in dams, as well as rivers and other natural bodies of water, has fallen. The level of groundwater in Germany has also fallen, which can have a severe impact on the environment, especially to trees and our access to water.
Okay, thank you, Raul.
Japan has provided more than 40 million people access to safe drinking water and sanitation in the past 5 years. These efforts will continue in the future. Japan's initiative aims at improving access to the safe and stable water and sanitary sewage systems.
Thank you, Alexandra.
Lithuania demonstrates very high compliance with the Drinking Water Directive and the Urban Wastewater Treatment Directive. However, regional disparities exist related to sustainable drinking water and sanitation services. An estimated 6% of the population lacks access to improved sanitation and 4% to improved drinking water. The majority of those lacking access to water and sanitation reside in rural areas.
Okay, Ismail.
Water resources are abundant in Ireland, with a lot of drinking water supplies in Ireland sourced from surface water, and a little coming from groundwater, 10.5% from groundwater and 7.6% from springs. So there are enough water in Ireland, and Republic of Ireland meets its need of clean water from groundwaters and in springs, river and lakes. About 80% of their drinking water is gathered from rivers and lakes. The 20% from springs.
Okay, Stefan.
Although many French people prefer bottled water, in most places in France, tap water is perfectly okay to drink. Some locals, like Paris, even pride themselves on the quality of their tap water, but there are few regions or cities where, sadly, the water has been contaminated.
Okay, thank you. Fidan.
Nearly 95% of Czech cities have water supplies through water supply system, and the average price of water is rising. However, it does not exceed a tolerable limit of 2% of average net income, and the Czech Republic continues to primarily using drinking water in households, and so there is a significant opportunity for the use of grey water in this field. And over 85% of the population lives in houses connected to a sewerage system, and the house person age differs. That's all.
Thank you, Raul.
Sorry, I forgot my hand up.
Okay, Simona.
Turkey is neither a country rich in freshwater resources nor the richest country in its region. Turkey's water resources are not always in the right place at the right time to meet present and anticipated needs. While certain regions of Turkey have ample but unusable fresh water, some of the more heavily populated regions don't have enough fresh water. Also, in rural areas, only 86% of the population have access to fresh water.
Thank you, Simona. Maria.
In Italy, 100% of urban population and 97% of the rural population have access to water. 20% of the bathing water does not satisfy bathing water standards. 70% of the population has access to sanitation.
Okay, thank you, Maria. Tugba.
The discharge of waste into rivers, combined with urbanization and the lack of a waste management system, has led to deterioration in Lebanon's water quality. Access to clean water is expensive. Nearly 1 in 3 Lebanese purchase their drinking water from an alternative source because of problems with official water supplies. These resources often come at a cost, so there is not enough water supply in Lebanon. Groundwater is an important source of water across Lebanon. It accounts for 50% of irrigation water and 80% of potable water. An estimated 20,000 largely illegal boreholes in Greater Beirut and Mount Lebanon provide water to households across the income spectrum.
Okay, thank you. Let's move on to the sixth question. What preventions are your country taking for future clean water shortages? Okay, Alexandra.
The Water Sector Development Program 2017-2023 and its action plan are the key strategic documents related to water policies in Lithuania. Lithuania applies a wide range of regulatory and economic instruments, for example, tax on water abstraction and pollution discharges to manage water quantity and quality.
Thank you. Ismail?
They are save water whenever possible, education, recycle water, advanced technology related to water conservation, improve practices related to farming, less use of chemicals in farming, improve sewage systems, and better water distribution infrastructure. Is infrastructure.
Okay. Infrastructure. Maria, thank you.
France is taking preventions for future clean water shortages, for example, recycling the water and advanced technology related to water conservation.
Okay, Pinar.
The Korean government will establish a second national basic plan for water reuse to expand clean water. It will include plans such as projects to supply treated wastewater to industrial complexes that require a large amount of water.
Yakmur.
A cycle that makes good sense. Over 96% of wastewater from private households and public institutions in Germany is channeled to sewage treatment plants for purification. No other European country treats as much wastewater for reuse.
Okay, thank you, Simona.
The Turkish government drafted an action plan which aims to introduce measures to increase the efficient use of water and curb the decline in water resources in underground dams.
Thank you, Fidan. Okay, good. Don't want. Fidan, let's see the next one. How can we manage all the people in our country to reach clean water resources? Abdullah?
Yes, I think that, in my opinion, fostering the emergence of a water-saving culture is the best way to manage all the people, because everything starts with human and ends with human. And everyone wanted to change the world, but in the first you need to change yourself. And if every person thinks like this, the world will change, but by himself, you know. And in the first, we should know that the water is something that is being more important for our lives in the future, and everyone should act like this. And if you want to know the importance of that in the first, we should act now. Like every person, we should know the importance of that.
Thank you. Okay.
And by the end, everything will be different, you know. Like, can I say something else?
Yes,
If you have
please.
time. Yeah, and the last thing that I want to say is, in the future, everything will be different because the climate change, the water, the air pollution, and the other things are going worse. And if we need to save our world in the first, we need to act earlier, because earlier is better for everyone, and it will not have so much damage in our world.
You're right. Thank you. Cheng?
First of all, such issues should be covered in the education system in French, and we should teach the child to use clean water at a young age. Then we can raise public awareness about water pollution with the help of various banners and events.
Okay, thank you. Tuba?
Research should be done on finding more water sources. In this regard, more people should be informed and educated on this issue. By making agreements with foreign countries, it can be found in a shorter time.
Okay, thank you, Ismail.
We can calculate water available, treatments of better water resources, development new systems for better water, establish new organizations, construct better water points, work with communities, educate the people.
Okay, and Yarmul?
We can promote good hygiene habits through education, proper hand washing with soap, and water can reduce diarrhea cases by up to 35%.
Thank you. The next one, the 8th question. What can we or government do to prevent water pollution? Nermin?
Governments can engage with businesses and establish mechanisms encouraging companies to be resource efficient and transparent in their water use. Creating legislation or voluntary agreements per sector to promote product transparency and disclosure on water footprint is one example of this. And governments can also engage with their citizens, raising their awareness of the water footprint of their consumption and ways to reduce it.
Thank you, Alexandra.
We can manage all the people from Lithuania to reach clean water resources if the government will calculate the water availability in this country, link global water use, implement sanitation services across all of the sectors in need, develop water monitoring and regulation, establish accountability mechanisms for the poor, and so on.
Thank you, Cheng.
We have to spread the use of clean water through various protests and actions or events and support the government against water pollution, while the government should know where and how water pollution organized and act accordingly.
Thank you, Raul.
Governments can engage with businesses and establish mechanisms encouraging companies to be resource efficient and transparent in their water use. Creating legislation or voluntary agreements per sector to promote product transparency and disclosure on water footprint is one example of this. We can also prevent water pollution in our day-by-day life with small things like picking up litter and throwing it away in a garbage can, or washing our car or outdoor equipment where it can flow to a gravel or grassy area instead of a street.
Thank you. Tuba?
The government can initiate projects to find groundwater. More students can be educated in this branch in educational institutions.
I have an idea for this. Maybe when I think about my country, we use drinkable water for everything, for cleaning and other things. Maybe there can be two different pipelines for the water. One for the water that we can drink, one for the water that we can use for our household chores and other things. Maybe it can be a solution to prevent water pollution and to wasting water.
Yes, that's a good point. Okay, who wants to continue? Fidan?
Yes, if we want to help keep our water clean, there are many things we can do to help. For example, we can conserve water by turning off the tap when running water is not necessary. This helps prevent water shortage, reduce the amount of contaminated water that needs treatment. By having more plants in our garden, for example, we are preventing fertilizer and contaminated from running off into nearby water sources, and also don't allow through litter into rivers, lakes, or oceans, and help clean up any litter we see on the beaches or in the rivers and the lakes, and make sure safe to collect the litter and put in the nearby dustbin. And also government can take part some activities with population against pollution. So, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Ismail?
Which one? I forgot it.
The eighth question.
And actually, mine own answer is same with Nermin's. So I don't need answer it.
Okay.
Why is it so important to use clean and regular water?
Teacher, can I say my opinion?
Please.
Clean drinking water is essential to life, and we need to use regular water all of our life because human body is 60% water, and in the same time, water is a gift that helps us in the most parts of the life. Like the teacher said that we need to wash the dishes. In the first, that is most important. We need to drink it, or in the industry, in everything, in energy like heater centrals. So if there is no water, there is no life.
You're right, thank you. Cheng?
The use of clean and regular water is very important for human health because if we use dirty and irregular water, we will both affect the water shortage problem that we may face in the future and risk our health.
Okay, thank you. Tuba?
Because water most important for all living things. It is one of the natural resources. In other words, water it is the source of life and living things. Human use, ecosystem use, economic development, energy production, national security. There are many sectors where water is needed.
Okay, thank you, Nadine.
Water is important for several reasons. Being a universal solvent, it dissolves very many molecules as compared to many other solvents. And life has its origin in water, and the higher forms of leaves are successors to these forms. Humans vary at the maximum can tolerate only 3 days in total absence of drinking water, not anymore. Only most of the diseases, especially the communicable ones, are spread through water.
Thank you. What can big firms and trademarks do about clean water and sanitary conditions? The 10th question. Ismail?
I can example, it's PepsiCo. While not the only company to enact water conservation efforts, PepsiCo has managed to make significant reductions in their water consumption in an industry that is absolutely reliant upon water resources. PepsiCo's conservation efforts earned them a Stockholm Industry Water Prize in 2012.
Okay, thank you. Nermin?
I say.
Okay. Yakmur?
Even though it can be a big challenge for some companies, it's extremely important to avoid chemicals and other materials that can be harmful to water quality. Another important point to remember is to reduce chemical discharge to drains. Companies must keep to the limits, and in case of exceeding this limit, it will be necessary to pay fines. In other words, the goal of having these limits set is to reduce water pollution.
Okay, what responsibilities can we take regarding clean water and sanitary conditions?
Yes, there are many.
Yes. Pinar?
We can try our best to not waste water and donate to charities that help people in need to get access to clean water.
Okay, give some specific examples, please. From your daily life, what can we do?
Maybe while brushing our teeth, we should turn off the tap, not let water run.
Yes, a good point. The first rule. Yes, you are right.
Alexandra?
We can be more responsible about water and sanitary conditions if we do these simple day-to-day actions like returning used motor oil for recycling, using a commercial car wash, sweeping sidewalks and driveways, avoiding using lawn fertilizers that contain phosphorus, flushing responsibly, disposing of excess fats and grease, diapers and personal hygiene products in the garbage can, or participate in a river cleanup day.
Thank you. Abdullah?
Yes, teacher. I think that people should use water in the most efficient way and should not waste it. But in the same time, they should know their responsibilities for clean water resources. Like if you need 2 liters or 2 liter water, I'm just giving an example for cleaning the dishes, but you can wash them only by 1 liter. It's just wasting. You're just doing something that is not good for everyone, and you should know the importance of that, because in the future, with the growing of the population of the world, the water will be more expensive, and everyone should use it only by the how much he needs, not how much he have.
Okay, thank you.
You
Ismail?
are right.
Improve sanitation facilities by providing toilets and latrines that flush into sewer or safe enclosures. Promote good hygiene habits through education. Proper hand washing with soap and Water can reduce diarrhea cases by 35%.
Okay, thank you. The next one. What are the issues that consumers should pay attention to while consuming water? So what should we be paying attention to while consuming water? Ismail.
We should turn off the tap while we are brushing our teeth and washing our hands. We should turn off the tap while we are foaming our body and hair and setting the temperature of water in our shower.
Thank you, Abdullah.
This answer will be a little bit similar with the last one, but like I said, we people should know that water is going to be more expensive because of population. They should know the importance of it. But the most important thing is that we need water, and water doesn't need us. You know, everything will be how can I say it? Everything will be a catastrophe if we start to just say like water, we should use water for agriculture, for industry, for everything. Yes, you need it, sure, but in the first we need to know ourselves how much we need, not wasting it only for money or only for other things, only for the things that maybe they're not so much important for our life. You know, in the first we should know that what do we need for the first, what is the main reason that we need in this life, you know, what is that water will give to us. Then we can start to search about the other things in economy, in industry, or in agriculture, you know. Sure, it's important for everything. Water is the life, like I said, but in the first we should know the importance of that, how by the way that we use it.
Okay, Tuba, thank you.
The main thing to pay attention to is not to be used more than necessary, because we should be aware of the decrease in water and consume accordingly. The basic rules that we have been taught since our childhood that we hear all the time are actually very important. Take care to keep your shower time short. Do not leave the tap open for a long time while brushing your teeth or washing your hands. Do not run the dishwasher before it is full, etc.
Okay, thank
That's
you.
all.
And I think we can combine the last two questions if you want.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
What should we do to preserve our water resources? What can we do to have sustainable clean water resources? Ismail is the first.
The next question, please.
The both of them, Ismail.
Both of them. Can you
Okay,
combine?
okay. For 13th, properly dispose of hazardous products, put up signs, use and dispose of materials properly, volunteer in your community, join in a beach, stream or wetland to clean up for dirty waters, prepare a presentation about your watershed for school or civic organization. And my last answer, reclaimed water or water recycled from human use can also be sustainable source of water supply. It's an important solution to reduce stress on primary water resources such as surface and groundwater.
Okay, Abdullah.
Teacher, excuse me, but I just want to talk about by my way, you know.
Okay.
Like I want to just to say my opinions that I'm thinking
Please
now.
feel
And
free to do that.
I think that it depends because it has so much reasons like climate changing, people population, using water in industry and other things. And we can preserve it by knowing only the water importance. But changing the technology of fossil energy to recycling energy is the best way to have clean resources. you know, because everywhere you can see in so much places that we have petrol industry or the metal industries, and they're danger, you know. We need it, sure, but they have more dangerous things, you know. They cause so much pollution, air pollution, and after the air pollution it causes water pollution at the same time. But also in Africa, you can see that there are so much water resources, but they are so dirty, and they are not useful in Africa. And I think that the technology should grow to have, you know, to stop the pollution, air pollution, water pollution, other things, but in the same time to help the people to have clean water resources. That's the only way. What how can we help ourselves, you know?
Okay, good, thank you. Anybody else who wants to answer these questions? What did you write? Let's see. The last two.
Yes, the last two. And I also shared the link of our Padlet for the resolutions for your ideas, for your solutions. You can add your solutions there. And I also want to share something with you. For the Turkish students, this one is so important. Can I share it, Stefania?
Yes, you can, I think.
Yes, for the future of my country, I want to share this one with our Turkish
so
students.
do you want to
I think
share
your country
the screen?
Yes.
Okay, just a moment. I want to take a photo of the Padlet. Okay, I will stop sharing.
I will, yes. Okay. Can I do it? Yes, I think I can do it now. Yes. Here is the website. The Turkish students, you can go here, yarınınsuyu.com, and you can be a member of this campaign. You can follow it on also Instagram. There are many useful things for you to do in your daily life to save our water, and there are many research. Please visit this site after this meeting and do what can you do for the future of your country, the Turkish ones. I hope in other countries there are also that kind of websites, that kind of organizations. Do you have any, Stefania? Do you know?
Well, I don't know if in Romania, but I think we have such campaigns. But I can't give an example right now. I have to search on the internet.
Okay.
I'm not prepared.
I follow this. Yes, I follow this campaign on Instagram, and I try to do some activities to get my badges for this campaign. So I want to share it with my students. Okay, you can go on with the Padlet.
Okay.
And Nida, thank you for your sharing. I didn't know about this campaign. I will follow it also. And I would like to thank you, all of our students. They did a great research again, and they shared their ideas with us. I have a question to them. What you know, now people or countries fight for petrol. Do they think that we will have wars on water resources in the future?
This is a bad
Good question.
Very horrible and terrible.
Yes, but we should think about it.
Yes, Abdullah wants to say something. Yes.
Teacher, I just wanted to say that what Einstein said, and it is that if you're in a war, that there is no someone that wins and someone who fails. In the first, you fail or you fail more. if we started to do war and to war with humans, that everyone is a human, everyone will fail, no one will win. And because, like I said in the first, everything started with human and end with human, where everyone is living in the same world and living the same life. And if something like that started, it will be something terrible or horrible, and no one will win nothing. And the best way is to start to think. Everyone should think that what will happen, and only by that, because everyone wanted to change the world, but no one wanted to change himself. And if everyone thinks that I can change myself in the first, then the world will change by himself.
Well, I found on the internet some campaigns in Romania. Clean water means life. It was initiated in 2018. And I think there are a lot of such campaigns on the internet launched by non-governmental associations. There are a lot of projects. One of them I can see is launched by the association, Romanian Association of Hydrogeologists. So we have such campaigns.
Yes, it's a common
Romania
problem
also.
for, yes, it's a common problem for many countries. So I think there are many in other countries also. And yes, students, we are waiting for your solutions.
Yes,
Let's
please
read
write
some of
here
them
some,
and finish
only
meeting.
one.
Yes.
At least.
Okay, maybe we can read it, then end the meeting. We cannot see, I cannot see them, Stefania.
Well, they haven't
Reload
written anything.
the page.
What did you say, Ismail?
There is a arrow sign rounded.
Yes, here. They know how to, yes, we have here.
No,
Don't forget
it's not.
to write your name also. So when you
There is WhatsApp
upload,
and there is an arrow sign under of that.
Okay, now we see. Putting the right price tag on water, allocating water and water-related funding more efficiently. Whose is it? Fostering water-efficient technologies and practices, considering additional water supply infrastructures, improving drought risk management. Yes, this is Maria's. Pınar's solution. Without water, according to prevent, we should have established devices into every house that make it possible to reuse wastewater. Yes. Large companies can also advertise products that make it possible for people to use clean water. Yes, very good solutions. Okay. We will share these Padlets on TwinSpace, and others can go there and see what their friends share as solutions. At the end of this project, I'm planning to collect all of your solutions in a kind of maybe ebook or video or something else, and to share it with authorities, the policymakers. If we can do, I will try. Okay, Stefania, we can end the meeting.
You can end the meeting, but don't forget to post here your solution, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, an
Hardworking
hour.
students.
Yes, we were here for an hour.
Thank you for your contributions. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Bye.
Good evening, dear students.
Good
Goodbye.
evening.
Good
Take
evening.
care.
Bye. Have a nice
Bye.
evening. Bye bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you. Okay, bye, Nida.
Bye,
Bye bye.
Stefania.